Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to take a sublimation mishap and turn it into a beautiful winner. Here are some of the supplies that you'll need for this project. You'll need the Siser HTV Glitter Vinyl White, a cutting machine such as a Silhouette or a Cricut that has the ability to print and cut, a garment, a onesie in this case, Sublimation Printer, and a heat press. The process isn't difficult, just follow along with the video. If you do have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below and I'll be happy to respond to you. So let's go ahead and get started. So let me show you how I set up this file. I'll be using the Silhouette Studio software. I've got the graphic that I used on the onesie imported into the software, and it's the exact same size as the one currently on there. That's going to be very important. So the first thing I need to do is make a trace of this image. So I'm going to go over to the trace icon, select trace area, and I'll just, with my mouse, just drag a box around that entire area. Click on outline, drag the threshold all the way up to 100, and select trace outer edge. All right, so the software has gone ahead and created a trace of that image. So we'll be using this to create the offset. So I'll click on the offset icon. Again, I'll select that entire piece, click on offset, and it automatically defaults to 0.125, and that's too big for what I want. And what I'm trying to avoid is these little cut marks right here. That's just going to be a pain in the butt to weed, and my cutter may run into some problems. Plus, this offset's just way too big. So I'm going to use these arrows on the side and just click them and just reduce the size of that offset until I find something that is both pleasing to my eye and resolve some of these cutting issues that I was talking about. So I'm going to continue to click down. And this one looks pretty good. This is 0.075. So it gives me a pretty decent offset, which will cover the mistake I had made on the onesie. And let's have a quick look at this to make sure there's no other problems here. There's a tiny little mark there that I could probably just delete. And everything looks pretty good. So I'm going to click apply. Then we'll take the trace part of this document and just move it off to the side. And now that I look at that, that must have been from the trace because that looks pretty good, so no problems. So this looks fantastic. So what I need to do is send this off to my cutter and cut using, and I'm using the Siser White HTV Glitter Vinyl. And I'll create a weed box around this. But because it looks like these are separate pieces, like you can see if I do that, it moves separately, we want to avoid that. So to do that, I'm going to select all of these pieces, right click with my mouse, and left click on Make Compound Path. So now these will all move together and will make things much easier to align. So I do need to mirror this graphic. So I'll right click again and then left click on flip horizontal. So that has been mirrored. And I'm also going to draw a box around this to use as a weed box when I cut my vinyl. There we go. So that's all set. I will go ahead and send this to my cutter, and then we'll come back and we'll deal with the graphic part. Okay, so my glitter is all cut and I've set that aside. Now we need to set up a print and cut for the graphic. And we're going to use this offset file as the cut line for our print and cut. So I no longer need this weed box, so I'll just go ahead and delete that. Then I'll go up to the page setup panel, click on this icon here, and I'm going to hit on for registration marks. So this is what your cutter uses to line up the graphic for print and cut. So I'll make sure that's within the boundaries. bring my graphic into place, right click, flip horizontal, select both these items, and just go ahead and center them. Alright, so now this is all set up to send to the printer, so I'll select Print. I've got the Workforce 7720. I'm going to select Preferences. I've already got a profile set up for this particular paper. I do need to make one change to that profile, is I had it mirror image. Well, I've already mirrored the image, so I'm going to uncheck that box, click OK, click on Print, and part of this profile also had a preview, so I get to look at this before I send it off to the printer to make sure that everything is correct. So I can see it's maintained that mirror image that I had requested, and I've got my registration marks, so all I need to do is send that off to the printer. Alright, so my image has printed, and I'm just going to align it onto my cut mat and finish that print and cut process. So I'm out in the garage at my heat press, and let's take a quick look at that onesie. You can see that faded area. So what I want to do is take that glitter that we cut that has the offset, and I'm going to cover the original sublimation with that glitter. Now the carrier sheet has a bit of a sticky back to it, so I don't think I need to hold this in place with heat tape. And I do have my heat press heating to 365, and that was at the recommendation of Siser America. And before I forget, I do have a pressing pillow on there, and I'm just covering it with some ironing board material that I purchased at Joann's. So now I'm going to tack this glitter down. I'm just going to put it under the heat press for about 20 seconds. So I'll just put a Teflon sheet on there to protect it. And I'm using a medium to firm pressure. Okay, that should be enough time. And this glitter product is a hot peel. It is very hot, but it's definitely adhered over that original design, and I can't even see through it, so that's going to work out perfect. So you do need to let this cool for a little while, because if you put your sublimation transfer on top at this point, you would start the sublimation process. So we don't want to have any ghosting. So a couple of minutes have passed, and now I'm going to align the print and cut image on top of the glitter. And because we used that same offset for both the glitter and the print and cut, matching this up is just easy. Very hard to make a mistake with this. I will go ahead and use some heat tape just to hold all the pieces in place. And as I had said before, Siser America recommended the 365 degrees Fahrenheit as the temperature, and I think that is just like a middle number between what you can use for vinyl pressing and also probably a bare minimum for the sublimation process. So hopefully this works out really well. Alright, just one more piece of tape to hold this title in place. And then I'm going to position the onesie over that pressing pillow. And then I'll use a piece of blowout paper. I think I'll use a larger sheet to cover the whole onesie. And then I'm going to press this for 60 seconds at 365 degrees Fahrenheit, medium to firm pressure. Okay, my 60 seconds are up. Okay, all I need to do is peel this off, and it looks like I'm not going to be able to grab the tape. So I think I'll just tear the paper away and take the tape with it. Wow, that came out really nice. It's coming up very vibrant, and I love the little glitter effect on here. And I think it's nice. It's suitable for a onesie, and it's not harsh to the touch either. It doesn't have like a scratchy feel. Oh, that is just super cute. I'll take some better pictures of this so you can get a closer look. But overall, I think I've taken a mishap and made it into a winner. So here's the completed project. Is it a winner? Leave me a comment below. I hope you've enjoyed this project. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified of future videos. And as always, thanks for watching.